Hey guys, a quick disclaimer. I did build these gear diffs a little bit out of order from the manual, but at the end they both came together just fine. So I hope you find this video helpful. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue building the Tamiya XV-02 chassis kit. And we're going to be working on steps 6 and 7, which are the front and rear gear differentials. So let's get started. Take a look at what we need. These parts right here, including these two bags, are from the last video when we opened bag A. And you need to find the GB bags, which is going to be these two right here. Let's start from the bottom because we're going to need this joint cup right here to put everything else on. And so we're going to start with this with the bearing here like that, and then you can see it kind of poking through. The hard part is there's a hole right here. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to need to put a pin through it, and it's going to be one of these pins. So we're going to need a few tools, and I'll go through them when we need them. Okay, so the next piece we need is the rubber O-ring, and that's right here. All right. Okay, so let's see. I mentioned it in the last menu video that whenever I use rubber O-rings, I like to kind of dip it in green slime. This stuff prevents the rubber O-ring from drying out and cracking and then causing leaks. So that's why I like to use this. It's not mandatory. It's not a step that's in the manual, but it's just a habit I have whenever I'm working with rubber O-rings. So we're going to set it down into the groove here. So obviously you're going to need a pair of tweezers for what we're doing today. Okay. All right, next we're going to need this shim right here, MA13, which is one of these. Just going to drop that in there. Next is going to be the smaller shim, which is going to be, it should be this right here, MA14. It is this ring one right here. Very thin, very small shim. Let me just double check. Yep, that is the one. Oops. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And then now, this is kind of the difficult part. We need to put a pin into wherever that hole is. This hole is in there. So first we need to figure out where the hole is. I honestly can't see the hole very well, so I'm going to go to my magnifying goggles. Okay, and there we go. I just couldn't see, so that was my problem. It wasn't actually that hard once I saw the hole. Okay, next we're going to need the bevel gear, XV-02. I think the gears we need are in this bag. Yep, XV. So the gear we need should be this one right here. That one. Make sure it's smooth all around. And so the pin in there is going to line up with that slot. So we're going to drop that in and make sure you turn it until it seats all the way flat, like that. So make sure it's completely flush. And next we're going to put the gasket on, but I'm going to, let me see. So this is going to be the gasket like that, but we can probably do that later. After we build the other side, I'm going to bring in my armorer's block. Kind of just set that down. Now we need to do the body side, and you're just going to start the same way. Oh, don't forget the bearing. Don't forget the bearing, then the O-ring. Make sure the O-ring goes all the way down. And let me just clean up some of that goop. All right. Now again, it's going to be the big shim right here. And then the small shim. And again, we need to put the pin through. So let me put on the goggles. Just drop that in there. I did that one much easier. Okay, so it's going to look like that again. And we're going to need another of these XV-02s. Okay. And again, make sure it seats all the way down flush. And we're going to have the gasket on top. Both of them I built it with the body, so now I'm going to build these two. GB, so I'm going to do both the 39 tooth gear. So say 39 tooth right there. And the other one is going to be 39 right here. I'm going to have the front and rear have the same gear ratio. Use the same 39 tooth gear. And this is pretty much the same as the other side. All we need to do is to put this on like that. This one's going to be much easier because we can actually see. Okay. And then the large shim and the small shim. And the pin. It's going to be much easier for these. Because I can actually see the hole. There we go. The gasket will, is there just one here? There's just one gasket. So the gasket's actually going to rest on this side. There we go. Okay. That bearing. I've forgotten the bearing every single time. All right, now grab these gears. So it looks like I built everything a little bit out of order, but at the end, it still comes together, and this is what you're looking for. These are the MA15s. These are very, very small shims, 0.1 millimeter shims, and need them for the next part. So let me just drop them there. So we're going to need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need a GV4, which is going to be that right there. Okay, so we're going to point these inward. And it says before you put the shims on, you should apply some oil onto the shims, and I will do that in a second. Let me just put these on. They're very, very small, very easy to lose, so you have to be extra careful. I see, I almost put 2 of them on there, and I dropped one. All right, so let's see. Right before I put them in, and they're going to go into these 4 grooves like that. So right before I put them in, I will put a drop of oil on each of them. And then drop the whole thing into place. And it should be like that when you're done. Okay. Put this one aside. Let's do this one. Okay, I have it lined up. Okay. Now I'm going to drop this in there like that. And again, it should look like that. Great. Let's move on to the next page. I think we got everything here. So let's move on to the next page. And the next page, let me show you, we're going to fill these diffs with the same oil, and we need to fill it up kind of halfway up these gears, covering the entire cross member there. So we're going to pour that in, and then we're going to seal it up together. Make sure the gasket's in there. So, oops. Alrighty. Okay, I'm just going to let that settle a little bit. All right, I'm pretty happy with the level. And so now we're going to put the two together. Make sure this gasket stays. And we're going to line up these holes with the ones on the body here. It's best to marry them this way. Okay, I think I got it right there. This is actually hex, so I'm going to use this. My bad, I thought it was a screw. Notice here it says to go from one across. And there you go. When you're done, it should look like that. And it looks really good. Now for the second one. All right, and here's the second one done. So here we are. We have both of the gear differentials, and I've built them both with the 39 tooth gear. A little bit of oil seeped through the screw hole there when I torqued it down, but that's okay. All right. Make sure there shouldn't be any leaks, but just double check. It looks good. All right. Sorry about doing some of the steps out of order here, but it really doesn't matter if you do both of the bottoms first and then the tops, or build one gear diff before you build the second one. I also didn't realize the screws were hex instead of Phillips, which is a good thing. So thanks for watching this video. If it helped you in any way, please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.